Hello everyone, and welcome back to another theory video. Who is the most evil person in Grand Theft Auto 5? Is it Devin Weston?
Where the hell is she?
Looks like she stood you up.
Hey, hope I'm not too late. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Devin, the f are you doing here?
Hey, what a movie, huh? Meltdown. Congratulations, Mikey. We did it. Hey, let's get a picture, huh? You, me, the proud producer. Such a pleasure working with you. You see, I was here, unlike your wife. Seems to be stuck at home.
You twisted You're a dead man!
Or is it Steve Haines?
There's a bit of a problem.
That's right, Davy boy, you could say that.
Steve, I told you I would handle this.
Oh, because you've handled everything so f***ing well so far, haven't you?
All right, I admit things have been a little unorthodox, but...
F***ing orthodox! You've ruined my career. Agent Sanchez, arrest these men, both of them.
Steve,
Oh,
come
whoa!
on, please.
Kidding me? Arrest me for what?
For multiple counts of every f***ing crime under the f***ing sun.
Oh, well then let me rephrase. Why?
Why?
Because you don't want me to testify in court about our various business dealings, right?
Agent Sanchez, apprehend the suspect!
Agent Sanchez, you'll do no such thing. Now, Steve, we agreed to speak to Michael, to try and explain things to him. Not this. This causes problems for us all.
Or Cris Formage, the owner of the Epsilon program, who makes people pay to join a cult that is completely nonsensical.
Welcome, Zondar. I'm so happy to see that you understand everything.
Well, I know nothing, Chris, with no H.
Well, then you know everything. Kiflam.
Well, what if I told you that the answer to this is actually none of these people, but rather someone who's so unsuspecting of the role of the most evil character in GTA 5, but most certainly fits the bill. Someone who has a goal in mind and may just seem like a lunatic, but is manipulating everyone around him simply for pure maniacal pleasure. That's right, the person who I am saying is the most evil character in all of GTA 5 is Barry. Yes, you heard me right. The supposed pothead who is trying to legalize marijuana all throughout San Andreas is actually the most evil character in the entire game. So, before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out later this year, I'd love to take a stroll down memory lane and go back to GTA 5 and give you guys a theory that everyone missed. However, before I start, I would like to remind you to like and subscribe for further content, and remember to share this with someone you know. This video will also talk about some touchy subjects such as substance abuse and drugs, so if you aren't comfortable with that, I recommend you click off right now. But anyways, let's get right into it. So who is Barry in GTA 5? If you are unfamiliar with the game, Barry is a marijuana legalization advocate who is trying to bring down the government by getting enough signatures and ban enough people to smoke a ton of weed outside of the Los Santos City Hall in order for the state of San Andreas to legalize marijuana for whatever purpose he has in mind. In the game, he has missions for all three characters, one for Michael and Trevor, and 3 for Franklin. As for Trevor and Michael, once you start smoking his weed, you immediately get high and start hallucinating creatures that you have to take down, and as for Franklin, you have to collect a bunch of supplies so you'll go along with Barry to bring down the government. Very simple plotline. Now, based off of what I've described and shown what appears to be the case on the surface, Barry is just a crazy lunatic pothead trying to push his own agenda. And compared to some stuff that we do in GTA 5, like steal $200 million worth of gold, or literally torture an innocent man for no reason, this sounds pretty tame, right? So, what reason do I have to call him the most evil character in the entire game? Well, here's why. In order to understand why Barry is so truly evil, we first have to understand exactly the nature of the weed that he is giving out. In both grassroots missions as Michael and Trevor, the substance is so strong that it immediately makes them start hallucinating their biggest fear.
Monsters. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure they're nothing serious, but I never let them get too near.
Oh, the fuck!
yeah. It's a real mellow contemplative high.
That comes from the earth. Those clowns over there.
This, needless to say, is not normal in the slightest, and I can actively prove that this is intentionally designed to make people go crazy. For those who are unfamiliar with the drug cannabis, it's a natural plant that has high levels of cannabidiol, or CHD, and tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC. With these two chemicals in the substance, it acts as a depressant, allowing your body to develop a sense of relaxation and calm, all while giving you a giant sense of euphoria. Specifically for this video, we want to focus on THC, which is the significantly stronger substance within cannabis than CBD. In normal marijuana, the concentration of 15 to 30% is about the normal amount you want if you're going to smoke it to get a reasonable high. However, if one smokes too much of it, there are multiple side effects that high levels of THC can cause on someone, mainly vomiting, memory impairment, coordination problems, and most importantly, anxiety and hallucinations. However, the thing about this is that if you are smoking regular marijuana with a 15 to 30% concentration rate, it is almost impossible to have such a low tolerance that you would immediately start seeing hallucinations. So how on earth is Trevor and Michael able to hallucinate with a single drag? My proposal? Instead of berry smoke containing regular marijuana, he is using cannabis concentrate. Within certain oils of cannabis extracts, you can get up to a 70 to 90% THC concentration rate, usually used as painkillers or for anti-inflammation in very small quantities. However, if you smoke it, it would lead to almost instantaneous effects as it would be absorbed super quickly into the bloodstream. And what do we see with Michael and Trevor? They immediately start hallucinating, one of the most extreme side effects, in a matter of seconds. And how do you smoke this? By something that you can refill with your own material, aka a vape or smoke pen. But this isn't all. This level of THC may cause someone to hallucinate. However, because of the presence of CBD allowing someone to remain calm, those hallucinations are usually pleasant and the manifestations are things you may enjoy. However, with Michael and Trevor, they are immediately hallucinating their worst fear extremely vividly, with both auditory and visual hallucinations, as well as a gun as part of the brain's natural defense mechanisms. So how is this possible? Well, regarding substance use, there are two kinds of drugs that people will take: stimulants and depressants. Simply put, stimulants speed the body up and depressants slow the body down. If both of these are used together, known as polydrug use, this can be super dangerous and potentially lethal. The reason for this is based on cardiac strain and respiratory failure, as depressants will lower the heart rate and slow down breathing at the same time a stimulant is trying to make your heart beat faster. But I'm sure nobody could do this in game. I mean, it's not like you can die in this mission, right? That's right, you can die by these hallucinations. But how? Well, if weed is laced in the smoke pen with some sort of stimulant like caffeine or crystal meth or cocaine, what's going to happen is it's going to trigger a severe level of adrenaline at the same time you're hallucinating, leading to intense levels of anxiety. And if this happens and you hallucinate a phobia, all it's going to do is trigger your fight and flight responses even worse, causing massive cardiac strain, which is why Trevor and Michael lose health when they're shot. A hallucination shooting you with a fake gun should not damage you, and yet it does, likely because Trevor and Michael freak the hell out when it happens, since they're being shot at by their worst fear. So to sum it up, Barry is giving you a smoke pen with THC concentrate oil laced with some sort of stimulant like meth or coke, causing you to hallucinate your worst fear, and yet he is lying and passing it off as some regular and wonderful pot he grew in his backyard. If that is not evil, I don't know what is. But how do we know that he's doing this intentionally? Well, take a look at the cutscenes and when he brings out the smoke pen.
Legalized smoke?
Yeah.
You f***ing kidding me? I make a load of money selling that, all right? The last thing I can handle is legalization. Now f*** off.
Take a drag.
People do what they want.
This is tyranny by morons.
Yeah, well, I got things to take care of in a little place called reality.
You want a drag?
The only time that Barry gives Michael and Trevor this weed is after they decline to sign the paper and go along with Barry's plan to legalize marijuana. Now, why would he want to do this? Simple. If they aren't going to sign his paper for a supposed greater cause, he is going to have some fun. So therefore, he gives them the weed and gets pleasure watching people go absolutely insane with his substance, having hallucinations of whatever they fear. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But wait, during the mission, their hallucinations all just happen in their head. They're not really going all around the park shooting clowns and aliens because Barry is having a simple dialogue with them as soon as they come down. And the simple answer to this is no, he is not. How do I know this? Take a look at what happens when Michael and Trevor come down off of the drug.
And after that, you see, the liquor companies push for continued prohibition, which is complete insanity. So I take it I can count on your support.
The just happened?
What are you talking about? We discussed globalization, the state.
Stay the away from me.
What? But it's a good cause.
And I suppose that's
Why they want to keep it suppressed. Gosh, it's been really interesting talking to you.
The was that, huh? It was horrible.
Well, think about what I said.
Yeah, they are over somewhere else and are moving back to the place that Barry is in reality. Meaning Barry is gaslighting them into thinking that they were having a conversation when in actuality, they were going all around the park shooting fake creatures with fake guns. This gaslighting is clearly an act, so when Michael and Trevor come down, they don't see him laughing at the side, giving clear indication that this was on purpose. Doing something like this is very clearly criminal, and you need a reason to avoid suspicion. Now, there is supposedly an issue with this theory, and that is Franklin's missions. When Franklin comes up to Barry and smokes his weed, he actually doesn't seem to react. In fact, he thinks that the smoke is so dry that it sucks.
Just a mellow, sophisticated high.
Man, it seems a little dry.
Can't you see the aliens?
Man, what else are you taking? Man, this is garbage.
This means that, apparently, Franklin has a super high smoke tolerance unlike Michael and Trevor to Barry's weed, which wouldn't make sense if he's smoking THC oil laced with a stimulant. This has brought up the theory that the smoke actually did trigger his worst fear, only that his worst fear is everything around him. However, in my opinion, this is a stupid conclusion. Franklin is totally willing to do basically anything everyone asks of him throughout the entire game with almost no hesitancy. For God's sake, in Three's Company, Michael literally says to him that he should take off because they're about to take a wanted man by both the IAA and FIB out of a giant government building, and he doesn't hesitate at all.
Franklin, come on, you better take off. Really.
Shit, I'm good. I ain't bailing.
In my opinion, Michael and Trevor are far more paranoid about their own problems, way more than Franklin ever freaked out about anything in the entire game. So what happened here in the cutscene? Does Franklin really just have a super high weed tolerance? Well, my argument is no. Going back to Michael's mission with Barry, we can see that Barry's smoke pen is on the floor right underneath him, implying that he was smoking during Michael's high. However, he's not out here hallucinating aliens or anything at all, despite the fact that he says he's concerned about the monsters, implying that when you smoke this, you can absolutely and will start seeing these things.
But I do get concerned about the monsters. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure they're nothing serious, but I never let them get too near.
This means that he's actually not smoking the same weed and has two smoke pens, one for himself to get high and one for his victims. This explains his confusion when Franklin has basically no effect on the weed he smokes, and that is because Barry accidentally gave him the wrong one. You can very clearly tell by his reaction that he was not happy that Franklin smoked the wrong pen.
Man, it seems a little dry.
can't you see the aliens?
Man, what else are you taking? Man, this is garbage.
Anyway, just get the stuff. It's a revolution, and then call me.
Crazy motherfucker.
This also explains why this dumbass didn't show up with anyone to the smoke-in.
Where you at, Mr. Revolutionary?
What? The Smoke Inn. I'm at City Hall. I'm the only fool here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be right there. I didn't forget I was busy. Busy, that's it. Fight the power.
Motherfucker.
This is because there was never a smoke-in in the first place. Think about it. Who is going to join a crazy lunatic after smoking weed that literally made them hallucinate their biggest fear? The reason he made Franklin get the extra supplies he wanted was specifically so he could do whatever he wanted with the substances, likely to make more of his absolutely sadistic fix for people to go crazy over. And finally, of course, we know that this is not any normal weed. This is because you can literally smoke weed in your safe house. Both Michael and Franklin can go to their giant mansions and smoke from their bong independently, and Franklin and Michael both have the same effect. They both get dazed and relaxed from the weed they smoke, but don't hallucinate or anything. This also debunks the idea that Franklin has a weed tolerance while Michael and Trevor don't, because clearly they have the exact same effect. There is no way around it. Barry is evil and he is intentionally getting people high for his own pleasure. This clearly indicates an underhanded, nefarious purpose, and I truly think that this qualifies him for being the most evil character in the entire game. Think about every single person in GTA 5 and why they do evil things. Devin Weston wants money. Steve Haines wants money. Cris Formage wants money. Dr. Friedlander wants money. And Trevor Phillips, well, Trevor is Trevor. But with Barry, he has absolutely no purpose in giving people this substance other than the possibility that he actually gets pleasure from simply watching people go absolutely insane, getting freaked out by their own hallucinations, all while screaming at them and making a fool out of themselves, all the while they can literally die in a public area. Unlike Devin, Steve, Cris, etc., who are simply greedy, Barry is literally doing what Satan does. If that isn't the most evil character in all of GTA 5, then I have no clue who is.